Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about everything that has to do with kind of dispelling the myths, I guess, of the Canadian financial system and exposing really the truth of how everything exists. Today, we're going to be doing another infinite banking video. And really, the topic of today is, does it make sense to pay off a lower interest rate debt with a policy loan that you pay higher interest on? Make sense. Now, mathematical knowledge, I guess, will tell us that no, indeed, it does not make sense, because why would it make sense to pay off a 2.99% loan with a 6% loan, for example? And actually, in this example, we've got our auto loan at 2.99%. Our policy loan interest rate is at 6.2%. I think that's fairly high. You can definitely get cheaper money as it relates to securing it against your IBC policies. However, for argument's sake, we're going to go through this. So let's just look at these numbers here, right? You're paying $538.93. It's a $30,000 car loan payable over 5 years. You got your 2.99%. You're paying every single month, which means you're paying a total of $2,335.64 of interest for that period of time. So let's look at the policy loan and see where that goes. Now let's just drag our thinger up here. Okay, so let's pretend you've now converted this to a 6.2% interest rate. Now remember, the idea is we don't want to add payments. So we have said you're going to continue to make the exact same payment, $538.93. So it does extend the amortization period by 6 months. And now your interest rate is $5,465. So when you take the difference of this, it means that you have paid an additional 3,000. Give me a second. Your extra interest is $3,129.73. So at face value, go, David, this is silly. Why would we ever do this and pay more money? It makes absolutely no sense in any capacity. Well, there's the other component to this. Remember, the whole idea of using the infinite banking concept, and let's drag it over here, is that whenever you look at borrowing, the money that's in your policy continues to grow on a compound basis uninterrupted, despite the fact that you're using your cash over here, which in this instance is designed to pay off this debt. So let's go down and grab a little investment calculator that we've pulled up. So this is assuming the $30,000, 5 years. In reality, it'd be 5 years, 6 months, but we're going to assume 5 years. A 3% interest rate, which at least as current projections show, the average return is about a little over 4% higher. But we're going to use 3 just to be conservative. That's 25% less at the end of the day than what we would otherwise get. At the end of 5 years, you've earned $4,778.22. So now, what does this mean? $4,778.22 minus $3,129.73. It means that you are ahead. Let's do this. $1,648.49 in the plus. So wait a second here. We asked at the very beginning of this, does paying off a lower interest debt make sense? And common sense would tell us no. But the reality is, in this one simple exchange where you paid it off using a policy loan at 6.2%, you're actually ahead $1,600 more than you would otherwise be just paying off this auto loan. Remember, if you just said, I'm not going to do any of this stuff and I'm just going to pay the auto loan, you're behind $2,300. If you decided, I'm going to just refinance over and just refinance into a 6.2% interest rate loan, Well, now you're paying more interest, which obviously that doesn't make sense. But now when you're utilizing the power of compounding interest and the power of the infinite banking concept, well, it's great. Now, wait a second. This isn't really done. Because remember, the idea behind the IBC is really about flexibility and control. Now, control is the ultimate key thing here. For your car loan, when you made payments, if you needed that money back, could you get it? The answer is no. If you decided to make an extra payment to speed it up, can you get that extra payment back? No. All right. It really doesn't do anything for you. You can't really prepay anything. Where when you're talking about your IBC policy loans, can you get the money back if you need it? Absolutely. Without a doubt. If you make extra payments, can you get them back? Yes, without a doubt. Does this IBC policy hurt you on future loan applications? No. Does the car? Yes, because it goes against your debt service ratios. So, long story short, in every essence, in every way, shape, or form, using this IBC policy, even at a higher interest rate, puts you in a better position than not doing it. Now, what's $1,600 at the end of the day over a lifetime of somebody? It's very insignificant. But if you're going to do this process, say every 5 years for a 40-year period, all of a sudden this starts to make some decent money. Now, I'd argue just don't buy the car every single 5 years, but that's a whole other story for a whole other day. But ultimately, you can imagine doing this with any expense that you have that you end up financing. And wait a second, you can even do it on expenses where you don't end up financing it, really, because at the end of the day, yes, you're going to be spending the 6.29%, but this is simple interest. Over time, what ends up happening is your compounding interest surpasses any simple interest that you've done. Now, 6.2% is a fairly high interest rate. You can get cheaper rates. You can go and secure bank loans against this to even drop it even lower, very low. Anyway, everyone, I hope this makes sense. Long story short, you can back up here. It totally makes sense to pay off a lower interest debt with a policy loan, assuming you run the math. And the best part about this is these are all known deltas, meaning that you can know if you're going to come out ahead before you even decide to do it. So you just run these numbers. Remember, it's not just about interest rates. Interest rates are entirely irrelevant. It's about how you use the money for those interest rates. Okay. I've also assumed here in this example that you kept the payment at $538.93. This example literally did not cost you a single penny more than you were already spending, yet you're now ahead $1,600. What would have happened if you would have increased the payment to, I think the loan payment, if you wanted to do it over the exact same term, would have been just shy of $600. Well, it drops the total interest charge by, I think, almost $600 or $700, which makes you even more ahead. I mean, honestly, the list goes on and goes on and goes on. Ultimately, this makes sense. I hope that makes sense. If it does, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below if you agree with me, disagree with me, if I'm forgetting something, if I'm missing something, please let me know, and we'll have a good discussion about it. I don't believe this is the only way to run money, but I do believe it's one of the best ways to run money. Anyway, cheers.